What's good, YouTube? Back again with another video. And I know you guys missed me, my couple dozen subscribers. I know it's been a little minute since I dropped a video. But today I'm going to come with a pretty quick one, and it's going to be MCU related. Alright, so today I'm going to go over the two reasons why the OG or original Iron Man and Captain America characters are going to come back to the MCU. And we're talking about Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. Respectively in those roles. Why they're going to come back to the MCU. You should already know if Hugh Jackman agreed to come back, anything's basically possible at this point, especially you literally just saw in No Way Home, Tobey Maguire came back for the Spider-Man role and nobody thought that was actually going to happen. So I'm going to tell you exactly why that Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are going to come back to their MCU roles. Definitely not this year and probably not next year, but they're definitely coming back. And here's two reasons why. The first reason should be pretty obvious, but first reason is money. Now, I know a lot of you like to think of Disney as, this business that caters to kids and is just there for entertainment. But behind all that, behind all the colors and the gloss, there's a corporation and people in suits that want to make money. All right. And the thought or the whole premise or thought of seeing the OG Iron Man and Captain America back on screen, they know that's going to put people in seats. Of course, they do have to build anticipation. They have to kind of be out of the fold for a good amount of time, so it'll be a few years, but at the end of the day, Disney is a corporation that wants to make money. I know a lot of people think they do certain things or make certain decisions due to some type of moral obligation, or do they just care so much about the fans or the audience. At the end of the day, they cater to the audience that they think is going to bring them the most money. And with that being said, I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, whatever blank check they're gonna write them to get them to come back, I'm pretty sure it'll be a hefty amount. That's another money aspect there. I'm not saying that they're probably gonna come solely because of money, but I'm sure there'll be a pretty big incentive. I'm sure without it they wouldn't. So money is a big reason why I'm pretty sure they're gonna come back. Again, look at No Way Home, just a thought, or the fan theories are saying that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire is gonna come back. Let's be honest, that was 75% of the reason why we went to go see No Way Home. Let's be real. Obviously, we want to see Green Goblin and the OG Doc Ock as well, but with seeing them in the back of our minds, and of course Electro and Lizard and all them, but seeing them in the back of our minds, we was like, all right, they might bring back Andrew and Toby, and Disney and Marvel Studios, yeah, they knew that. They knew they'll put some some butts in some seats. So that's how they tried to they try to hide it, but we knew. So we knew that. But again, money. Now the second reason is it's a little bit more, I won't say nuanced, but I guess a little bit more nuanced than the first one. And that is because most likely they're going to need them to come back. Now I say that because if you look at Phase 4 and you look at all the projects they have projected from here into Secret Wars, there's some projects that look kind of cool, but there's no projects that feel like pillar projects. Outside of Ant-Man Quantumania, that is, which I feel like that film is probably pretty important. But yeah, besides that, all of them kind of seem like, projects where the characters are just going to be doing their thing, which would be cool. And obviously in the comics, characters do their own thing. They have their different issues. But when you're dealing with a medium like film, you can't just simply print out a issue like every week or something like that. It's something that takes a lot of money and a lot of time. That's why people really want to see these films go somewhere in the first place. And I think many of us can agree that Phase 4 has been pretty lackluster. I think due to the sheer amount of content, as well as a lot of content just not being great or not being to what we're used to standard wise, or for different reasons. It just, even some of the films that have just been underwhelming, even when it maybe at one point in time they may have been it may have gotten higher ratings if they came out earlier, maybe, but yeah, a lot of them just been either mid, underwhelming. There's been some shining films, like Shang-Chi was definitely dope. No Way Home, even though like I said, that was really a nostalgia bait film, but it was still pretty good. I have my critiques about that, but it was still a solid entry. But I'll be honest, and it might just be me, and it might just be my personal MCU fatigue. But a lot of the projects that they have announced, though, I'm still gonna go see. But the excitement level is definitely nowhere near what it was when they were announced and from Phase 1 to Phase 3. Mainly because Iron Man and Captain America, they are literally pillar characters in the MCU. It was kind of founded, upon those two characters, their ideologies. We had a whole film based on, their differences, and that's what the MCU currently is lacking. We just have a whole bunch of characters at this point, which is great. I'm glad we finally got to this point, but we're missing the pillars of the actual universe. So basically, the MCU, they built this universe, or quote unquote this building based on these pillars, and they one killed them off and two kind of aged them out. So now they're reconstructing this building with no pillars at all. I guess you could, for an analogy, say it was a lot of a lot of different wooden sticks, saying which one is gonna hold and which one isn't. But it'll never be able to replace that actual pillar. So that's why I think where we're at in the MCU, and that's why the Marvel Studios and Disney is actually going to need them to come back to provide some type of stability to the universe. Now they may surprise me and they may be able to replace them, but just judging by the projects they have announced, I think I doubt it at this point. I'll put it like that. And with that being said, we still have Fantastic Four and X-Men who are going to be coming into the fold, but it's still some years before they get there. So how long can the MCU really just stand on putting out these different projects with none of these titular characters? It's kind of like same thing with with DC. It's not a good idea to build a DC universe without Superman and Batman. You can, but it'll never be as great as it could be. Now I know people will say, well, Captain America, Iron Man wasn't as popular until the MCU was founded or MCU started, which I can agree with that. But that still goes back to the point that because this particular MCU universe was kind of founded upon that, you still, at this point, they haven't shown me otherwise, at least, you still need them in some sense. And also, I'm aware, they're gonna have different versions of those characters that's gonna be coming on the screen, big screen and little screen. I definitely get that. Which in some aspects it'd be cool to see. I think I'll do a whole nother video on this idea of mantles and things like that. 'Cause I may not have the most popular view on that, but yes, I know that those character titles will still be in the MCU, but as we know, it's still not the same as Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, because those names just carry a little bit more weight in the MCU. But what do you guys think? You think I'm totally wrong? You think that the MCU doesn't need them to come back at all, or you think they're gonna come back because they gonna need them to come back and because of money? All right, well, drop your comments below. Thank you guys again for watching. But what are you listening to me for anyway? I'm a casual. Cue the outro.